Hello, boys and girls. I'm Teacher Bunyan. I'm in a magic club. Today, we're on level C lesson of lesson 5. We're looking at our unit title here, Imaginary Characters. And as you know, there's so many different types of imaginary characters in movie, books, and stories. We can learn about them in our favorite movies or our favorite stories. Who are your favorite imaginary characters? Well, in this lesson, we're going to learn about an imaginary character. His name is Paul Bunyan. It's called Mighty Paul Bunyan because mighty means strong. We'll look at that in the vocabulary. This is a blue ox. His name is Babe. He's Babe the blue ox. And Babe the blue ox was a really big ox, kind of like a cow. An ox is like a cow, but it's a male cow, a really big and strong cow with big horns, as you can see. Look at those big horns. They look white and sharp, like vampire teeth, right? As you know, Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox, they were partners. They were friends, and Babe the Blue Ox was a really big ox, kind of like a cow. So in this lesson, we're going to learn about Mighty Paul Bunyan. He's an imaginary character. This is our first word, campfire. Campfire. If you ever go camping in many mountains in Korea, that you will go camping. We sit around the campfire and we sing or we tell stories to each other about imaginary characters, like Paul Bunyan is an imaginary character. We sit around the campfire. A campfire is a small fire at a camp. So it's a campfire. We add two words, camp, fire, two sounds. Campfire. You know a campfire, right? Do you know it? That's very easy, right? Let's move on. This next one is a really big word. Look at this person. He looks tough. It's a lumberjack. You might know the word lumber. Lumber means wood. Trees from wood from trees is lumber. Jack may be a name of a person. I'm not sure what that is. Lumberjack is a person who cuts down trees. This describes Paul Bunyan's job. Paul Bunyan was a lumberjack. Lumberjacks, they were chopping trees all day and they were tired at the night. And now they're sitting around the campfire in the forest. They're not in their homes. So they sit around the campfire and they tell stories. The men want to tell a story, but not just any story. They want to hear a story about them. So they want to hear a story about their job. They want to hear a story about Mighty Paul Bunyan. Then let's listen with them. Are you sure we can listen with them? Okay, let's move on. A tale. Tale and story is the same. Before I've taught you, Paul Bunyan is in a folk tale. Folk tale are stories that people tell each other from a long time ago. And sometimes the folk tales grow bigger and the characters change a little bit. A tale is the same as a story tale. They're the same. Here's a tale. It looks like that. There are many stories. Look at this prince. He's fighting a dragon with a wooden sword. So this is a tale. Look at these clouds. Huh? A book is in the sky. The sky. That's funny. How can a book be in the sky? That's just a funny picture. Let's move on. Here's the next one. The hole. We can say that these people are a whole team in the office, right? If one person is missing, they're not the whole. They should be whole. There's not just the whole of people. They can be a whole of toys, a whole of house, maybe the whole of anything. So the whole of trucks, the whole of everything. Do you go to school every day? Are your students the whole, or are they just half? Are they half of your students or the whole of your students? Mommy? The whole of your students. My class is half. So the whole is all of a big team. A big team. Like these people are working together. They're a team in the office. So the whole. Let's move on. Oh, look at this picture. Do you want to go there? This is a place without people. There's nobody in that place. This is what we call wilderness. Wilderness means that there's nothing else. There's nothing, just mountains, trees, meadows, forests. There's no telephones. There's no roads, no homes, no telephones. Maybe you can have your cell phone. Maybe you can have gadgets, but there's nothing there except for this. But it comes from the word WILD. It means wild. If you think of just nature, just trees, mountains, meadows, forests, that's wilderness. So I think we don't live in the wilderness. There's nobody there, but you are living there. That would be that would be not easy at all. There's no friends around you. Okay, so let's move on to the next word. Here's an orchard. Orchard is a farm that fruit is grown. If you think of where do your apples come from, where do oranges come from, where do cherries come from? Ooh, cherries, what's that? Where do they come from? They come from a field like this. So that's an orchard. If you want to get fresh fruit or cherry cheap, go to the orchard in the fall. That's when the fruit is ready. It's ripe, and it's ready to pick and eat. But sometimes you should wash the fruit first before you eat. Or if there are worms in the fruit, you must be careful. So this is an orchard. This is not wilderness. This is an orchard. Farmers grow fruit in the orchard in the fall. They have a ladder. They climb up the trees and they pick the fruit. So that's an orchard. So let's move on to orchard. So let's move on to the next word. Adventure. I think this is very dangerous, but I think it isn't dangerous for strong and mighty people. That's because they have big muscles and they can lift weights. So adventure means a wild time, an exciting time. Wild also means not controlled. You don't know what's going to happen. So it's very amazing what does happen. Do you want to go to a volcano in Japan? The volcano in Japan, or the Leaning Tower of Pisa, or the Atlantic Ocean. So if you go to those places, you're going on an adventure. There will be a lot of fun things to do. So it's very exciting. What does you do? I have been on many kinds of adventures by cars, buses, taxis. I haven't traveled by airplane before or train, but I have traveled by bus. I think I do not travel by boat because I just traveled on the ferry to go past the river. I haven't traveled on a boat before. So this is an adventure, a wild and exciting experience. You don't know what's going to happen. It's very amazing what does happen. Let's move on to the next word. Joyously. Joyously. Joyously means with great happiness. If you watch a TV show and you watch it with great happiness, you're watching the TV show with joyously. If you read a book, oh, very good book, and you love it so much, you're reading joyously. I have a favorite book at my house, and when I read it with joyously. I love eating books. Joyously means to be with great happiness. So it's joyously. Let's move on to the next word. Winding. Winding means not straight. To twist, to wind, it's the same. This is wind. This is a very fun road to ride your bike on. Wee, going down the cottage, but be careful. There might be a car, so be careful. But it's a very fun road to ride your bike on. Wee. I can't ride my bike on the road. That's because I think it's too scary for me. Winding means not straight, like this. This road is really wind. Look at it. It's so wind. So I think we cannot get to the place we need it quickly. Like if we drive on this road, we couldn't get to the place we want to go quickly. That's because if it's straight, we can go there quickly. But if it's winding, we cannot go to the place we want quickly. So it's winding. Let's move on to the next word. Ooh, look at this. There's a monster on the wall. That's crazy. Where did this monster come from? Suddenly it appeared from the wall. It's imaginary. You think of that. I imagine. I have a good imagine when I go to sleep. I imagine about I'm fighting dragons and monsters with a sword. So I imagine. That's all imaginary. You just imagine about that. So imagine means to think in your brain, right? To think of how amazing you are, how or how loud you could jump. I think I could jump very loud. So it's winding. What's the sound? Let's move on to the next word. Tie. Tie means to tie something with a rope. So if you tie something, you are tying it. So tie means to tie something with a rope. Don't tie people up with rope. Just tie your shoes up with rope. That's very easy, right? But I can't I try to do that, but I can't do it. Maybe I need some more thinking to do that. So it is tie. Let's move on to the next word. Ox. Ox is a big, strong, kind of like a cow. An ox is like a cow. It has big, strong horns like this. This is an ox. An ox has big, strong horns and large bodies, as you can see here. Look at these. These are really tough and big oxes, right? So this is an ox. Let's move on to the next word. Itch. Itch means that if you scratch something like this, you itch that place. So you scratch it. That means you are itch. So you scratch the place that you are itch. I am itching. I am itch on my head. I need to scratch it. So if you itch your arm itches you and you scratch it, but don't scratch it too hard. If your arm is dirty, if you scratch it too hard, the skin will get off and blood will fall out of your arm. So be careful of scratching it, of scratching it under my broke arm, and that would be very, very hot. So it's itch. Let's move on to the next word. Chop down. Chop down means to get an axe and chop a tree down. So chop down means to make something fall down. So chop down means to make something fall down. If there's a tree and there's an axe, the axe cuts down the tree. Pew! The tree falls down. So the axe drops the tree and the tree falls down. So drop down means to chop something and it falls down. So that's drop down. Let's move on to the next word. Oh, look at this. I love this. He's a superhero, but look at his muscles. He's mighty. Did you know mighty Paul Bunyan? Mighty means you lift weight. So we know that this superhero has big muscles. I know that he has big and tough. He lifted weight every day when he was young. He lifted weight a lot, so he became a superhero. So mighty means very strong and powerful. Mighty means to lift weights. So it's mighty. Let's move on to the mighty. Mighty. If you are mighty, you get big muscles. So mighty means to lift weights. Let's move on to the next word. Shake. We have is a verb. Shake is a verb, so it changed. Just shake, shook, shaken. Shake is now I shake something. Shook is in the past I shook something. Shaken, PP. So shake means to, if there's a can like this and you move it up and down, if you do it like this, up and down, you're shaking the can. So shake means to make something move. You often shake cookies, right? Let's move on to the next word. No, there's no word left. Eating. Eat. Oh man, I have to eat again. Now let's eat. Now it's time to eat. Shake, shook, shaken. Tie, chop, down. Joyously. Imaginary. Wilderness. Mighty. Whiting. Campfire. Lumberjack. Tail. Hall. Orchard. Wilderness. Adventure. Ox. Itch. Bye bye. Take care, everybody. Hope you learned this lesson with me about imaginary characters. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye for now.